We're on. Great. Well, yeah, thank you, Pastor Bob and Gail, for giving me an opportunity to share just a little bit about what God's doing in Valencia, Spain. My family and I, my wife and I, we've been over there almost 15 years now, serving the churches, serving the churches and the community in Valencia. And this is by way of sharing with you our vision is that we believe that God has called us to reveal Jesus, a message of hope that's only found in Jesus. Okay, true hope, real hope, grace and love is only found in the person of Jesus. We're not about an institution, or we're not representing an organization. We are revealing the person of Jesus, and that's what people everywhere need to hear. Not just in Spain, but even here in the United States, and just anywhere we go, we're all about the person of Jesus. It's a relationship building. I do believe God's called me personally to build a church, to reform the church, and to plant churches. But that's only done by building relationships with people.
Amen.
Amen. It's not about building a brick building or getting some sort of a rally campaign together. Yeah, you can use all those things to reach people. Events are good and all those things, but if at the end of the day you're not building a relationship with other people, and other people aren't being able to see Christ in you, you see, when you build a relationship with someone else and you've got Jesus, essentially you're presenting them with a true and honest relationship with Jesus through your life. Amen. Right. And that's in Spain. That's really that's what we're about, and that's what we need to do. So we represent a ministry called Hope Lives. We're calling it Hope Lives because we believe that God has given us the opportunity to build bridges and platforms into the society, and we are dedicated to equipping the local church and empowering people to reach their God-given potential within their call. Not what I think they should be doing, but what God's called them to do. And if God's called you to be, I don't know, a teacher, a lawyer, if God's called you to be a social worker, be the best in that. Right. If that's your call, reach the highest potential within what God's called you to do. So this is really the central part of our ministry. So the video I'm going to show you in just a minute, and I'll sit down, Pastor Bob, and is this, you're going to see a group of young people. We spent about a couple of years in Veracruz, Mexico before returning to Spain. We were in Spain. We took a time off the field and actually went to another field. So it wasn't really off the field, but so I went back home, as I would call it, back to Mexico, and then we relocated back to Spain again. But in our time there, we built a ministry team for the children's church program at a church. And when we arrived at this church, there was only about 40 kids in the ministry, 20 volunteers, because, I don't know, not too many people sign up for volunteering with the children's church, okay? I don't know if that's true here. I'm sure it's not. That must be a lie.
Amen.
Anyway, but we went in and we completely renovated the children's program, and I have to really, and I bless my wife. She's got a very strong gift in calling towards children. But anyway, when we left, the children were over 120 in membership. And kids coming in, and they would bring their parents. They would make their parents come to church because they did not want to miss their Sunday service.
Amen.
And so in a volunteer group of 50. And so anyway, so when we relocated back to Spain, we said, hey, we need some leg work. We need a strong team to come over and minister to some of the churches, so that the churches that we are partnering with can see what God is capable of doing in a church. Because I believe churches can grow through the children. Amen.
Amen.
Through the children.
Yeah.
And so we brought this team of 9 young adults. I call them, young people because I'm getting older. But they're young adults, and they came over and they did workshops. They did outreaches. They were there for 3 weeks, which I'm not sure I would do that again. Okay, but 3 weeks was kind of a long time, if you know what I mean. But anyway, it was a blessing because people's eyes were open to what God can do if you've got faith. Amen. So these young people came over. They're not wealthy people. They're from Mexico. 20 pesos is €1. Okay, So they worked hard, they worked overtime, they did everything possible to get themselves over to Valencia, and it was a tremendous opportunity. So I'm going to show this video, then go ahead and sit down and pass it back over to Pastor Bob. But I appreciate your guys' prayers. I'll be in the back. If anybody is interested in just receiving a little monthly email update, or if you would like a letter in the mail, because who likes to get mail still? If it's good mail, not junk mail, okay? And I don't say no junk mail, okay? Anyway, but if you're interested in receiving any updates, just to continue in prayer, and I would appreciate that. But I'll be in the back signing names up. But we'll go ahead and watch this video and pass it back over to Pastor.